Hey,
Hello.
hey,
Well, hey. Hey yourself. Or wrong way. Hey yourself.
hey.
Anyway, hello
Hey,
everybody.
you know what? One of the articles this week, I really felt like you would like it. The one with grading.
Uh-huh.
I really felt like you would like that.
Well, thank you
I
so
thought
much.
that would be something that you would like.
Well,
So
you see that's the title. The
I think
title, the
about you.
title
I'm
is
telling
that.
you.
So,
Oh, see, I didn't
yes.
even see the title. See, that's
The new way of grading. Yeah. Well, hi everybody. We are here on a Monday because we know that we didn't give y'all nothing last week because sometimes our schedules just don't be scheduling. So, don't look at me. Sir, Mr. I've been traveling for the last 4 weekends and I have 20,000 meetings. And don't do me. Last week was not on me, it was both of us.
I was free on Wednesday. Matter of fact, I called you.
Oh, that's not true.
I didn't call you. Oh my God. No, we not gonna. We gonna do. I ain't call you.
Oh, the selective memories around here. Oh my gosh.
Ooh,
Wow. Wow. Wow.
girl.
I cannot.
So I didn't call
I
you.
cannot.
Didn't call you. I'm just asking. Did I call you?
Moving on because I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing this with you. Moving
Your
on.
internet already know you doing the Mia. Your internet be going in and out, knowing you doing a good Mia Thornton right now.
Good, good, good. Let me tell you something. You know what my internet would like? An intro. But anyway, how you guys doing? Hey
I'm
everybody
not doing
coming in
this
the
one.
room. Tracy, thank you, Tracy, to teacher's aid that came in and let everybody know that the presentation will begin shortly to go ahead and take a seat and get their pencils and pens and paper ready or laptops, as we say today, and get everything ready to go. Okay? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and jump in and get this party started. As per usual, of course, we have an article from the great state of Florida. My question to you is, what order would you do? You want to start with Florida? Do you want to end with Florida? Like, how do you want to do this? We have
But
Ohio. We
let's get
have
it out the way. You know, it's just like a requisite. It's just like required reading now. Something from Florida. So go, might as well get it out the way. It's required reading now. Like it's
okay, right. It's
ridiculous.
required reading.
Like the
Right.
wait, but let me say this before we go further. The fact that I've heard more from Governor Death Sentence on education than I have the actual Secretary of the United States Department of Education tells you all we need to know.
Well, you know that now that's the article I should have saved. They actually a Republican actually put up on the floor to dissolve the Department of Education, and I can't remember what
They might
Republican
as
it was,
well.
but that I saw that article last week. Well,
I mean, they
it's
might as
actually
well.
yeah, I mean, it's not a provision in the Constitution, and it's actually the next to last. I think the Department of Education is the next to last. The last one was Homeland Security, and before that, it was the Department of Education in the 1970s. So, I mean, it's not like we ain't lived without a Department of Education, for the majority of the inception of this country. But anyway, so listen,
They ain't doing that.
I do have the spreadsheet here. I think I updated it last week. The last time I'm almost certain I updated it the last time. But let's go to the X. I told you this year we were going to keep a spreadsheet of our articles. So let's look at the spreadsheet. I saved it. I shared it with you, El Teddy. It should be in your Google Drive.
When
I shared it when I started it. It should be in your Google Drive. I shared it with you. Um,
I have to go look. Okay.
Okay, so as of right now, we have one, two, three, four. Four out of our 12 articles that we have covered this year are from Florida. We're getting ready to make it five. Just so you know, we said we would keep up and we would give you guys a running count. Right now, Florida, of course, is leading the pack with 4, almost 5 articles. Right, Tracy said Florida must have 45 points on the board. Listen, it has 5 points on the board out of 12.
Remember, one week we did have two Florida articles.
Yeah. Yeah. Um yeah, we did have two in one week. Yeah, I had that on here. That was the last show we did was we had two from Florida at the same time. Anyway, so let's get into this, you guys. Governor death sentence. This is Governor death sentence, and the dude in Texas is Hot Wheels, right? Or was it vice versa? I gotta keep up with
Yeah, yeah.
you. Okay. The article, the link is in the chat. Let's talk about it. All right. This is coming from The Hill. It is dated February the 19th. And let's go into it. A Florida substitute teacher has reportedly been fired for posting a video of empty bookshelves in a middle school library, a video that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis called a fake narrative earlier this week. Brian Covey, who was a substitute teacher at Mandarin Middle School in Duval County, posted a video on January the 27th that showed aisles of empty bookshelves in the school's library. The day before, he had also tweeted, "They removed every single book from my children's classrooms." DeSantis said at a press conference on Tuesday that the video Covey posted was a fake narrative and was not true. Covey said that he was fired on Wednesday, nearly 3 weeks after he posted the initial video, according to First Coast News. In a statement first provided to the First Coast News, Duval County Public Schools confirmed that Covey was fired in connection to his social media post. In discussion between the district and ESS regarding the individual's misrepresentation of the books available to students in the school's library and disruption this misrepresentation has caused, it was determined that he had violated social media and cell phone policies of his employer. Therefore, ESS determined these policy violations made it necessary to part ways with this individual. That is the official statement. DeSantis recently signed a bill into law that required public school books in Florida to be age appropriate for students, free of pornographic material, and suited to the needs of the students, which has prompted school officials to review books in their libraries. And if you guys want a full breakdown on that legislation, that would be episode 2 of this year, I believe, if you go back into the playlist, because we discussed that at length. The Hill has reached out to DeSantis' office and Duval County Public Schools for comment. Covey posted a video responding to DeSantis' fake narrative comments last week, showing multiple bookshelves and saying that the county had only reviewed a small fraction of book titles. Duval County Public Schools responded to Covey's post, saying that the video Covey posted showed less than half the story. In a tweet, "Yes, those shelves were empty, but they were in a room full of books," it added. Well, then I think the point is made. Like, that doesn't help you. Excuse me. If you're showing that there are still shelves and shelves of books empty in a full library, then that still means that for whatever reason you have removed shelves and shelves and shelves of books. I mean, am I crazy? That doesn't really help their defense. Am I tripping?
No. However, I'm going to help my sister, and I'm not going to let the citizenry of the First Coast area of Florida come after you and drag you. It is Duval County. They might come. They be real particular about
Did I
their
say
Duval.
Duval? Who was I saying?
No,
Duval?
you said Duval. Yeah.
You know what?
Calling
Okay.
it Duval. Duval is like calling people from Mobile, Alabama, Mobile, Alabama.
I get it. Let me apologize to Duval.
Could they be real serious?
Listen, we have a high school up here, and it's called Duval. So I think because my whole life I've always pronounced that word Duval, because that's how we pronounce the high school here. But
that one has what, 2 L's, right? That one has 2 L's.
No,
it's spelled just like that one.
I'll double check off the top of my head. I don't remember. I remember I had a job.
But in Duval County, they say Duval. They will beat you down by Duval. It's not.
I went to a football. I went to a football game. I mean, yeah, I went to a football game there to see the Washington.
Duval and all of that stuff.
Yeah. That's what I thought I was
Really
doing when I
good.
read the article, but clearly that was a miss. That was a miss.
No, or
Because
like the people in Mobile, Alabama. If you call it mobile, they'll be like, "What? No, this is Mobile."
yeah, they will have an attitude. Hmm.
Or the Albany in Georgia, they say it's Albany, not Albany. I'm like, what?
Not all big.
Whatever. Anyway, right. Anyway, um, this is the first of many. This is not going to stop. The example, it was easy to do this person because it's a substitute teacher. So they don't have no union rights. They don't got all that going on. You did what? That was the example. That was to show, hey, F around and find out. That was what that was. It's easy to make the example of a substitute teacher. And I feel bad for this substitute teacher. Clearly, when you have tens of thousands of shortages across the state, you need teachers. And you got somebody willing. First of all, I've never worked as a substitute. I never had that testimony. I never was a substitute. I was always, full time, full fledged teacher. But I know many teachers that start off as substitutes. Okay, and
I was
so
a time.
I'm not going to say majority, but a good number. I don't know what the numbers are, but a vast good number comes from substituting. And so, why are you now making it open season on substitutes, many of whom transition into becoming teachers when you're already at a teacher shortage? You're already making it where teachers who are already in the profession don't want to go and stay in the profession, but now you're doing things to scare off people that may want to transition into the profession. Like, this is just bad business all the way around. And please be clear, this is going to become the blueprint for others to follow. Others are going to follow. I don't know how, but you know what I figure this is really being? What they're trying to do is they know that a vast majority of teachers lean on to the left side. If you do a poll straw test, most people in the education profession, because they're educated and because they are studied and researched, lean more toward the left side. And so I feel like there's this purge that they're trying to do and get all of the education people out of education that truly can speak to what is real and what is not, and then fill that with people that will go about their indoctrination. I feel like that's really what they want. They want people that are going to go in and be all about the indoctrination of children across the fruited plains. We have gone straight Germany circa 1938, 39. I don't see
So
where there's any difference.
so here's what I'm going to say, and we were having this. I was sort of having this conversation with you when we were on the phone earlier. I think it would behoove anybody that is a true opponent of what DeSantis is doing. I think it would behoove them to look at the numbers. How many teachers are leaving the profession in Florida? What are the numbers looking like? And how desperate are these counties getting? Especially the more rural counties. Uh, because that is going to be the only thing, if and that's a strong if, but that's going to be the only thing that's going to turn the tides. Because that's great to come up with all of this, you know, this legislation and all of that. But if there's nobody in the classrooms to teach your warped vision of education, that is where I think the tide, and I'm not saying it's going to happen today or next week, but that, because again, went through it, been there, done that up here. And what started turning the tide up here, and it wasn't as extreme as what's going on in Florida. And of course, we know we have a mainly Democratic base up here as well. But what started turning the tide was we ain't had no teachers. Teachers are quitting in droves, and it wasn't a good look. And again, DC is a lot smaller than the state of Florida. I get all of the differences, but it will be very interesting in 2 years to see. I mean, they're already desperate for teachers now, but in 2 years' time, it'll be very interesting between who you're gonna fire and who's gonna quit. It'll be very interesting to see where that leaves our kids. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, they're trying to introduce legislation to federally raise teacher pay. It ain't gonna happen. Not until they finish with the purge and get all of the responsible people out, and then let all of the idiots in, and then they might do a raise. I promise you, the
Well,
cynical side of my brain is saying that's not gonna happen.
here's my problem with that. First of all, I don't even know if they can do that. Like, I don't know if the Department of Education or the federal government even has that ability. However,
They
let's
try
say
to
they
do it
can.
through Congress,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
but
That's what I said, legislation. But let's just say they can. That's great. That only helps the areas where the pay is already low. And God bless them, but that ain't gonna help me unless you're going to do a across the board percentage and say all teacher pay be raised by 3%. But if you're going to say, well, like minimum wage, well, everybody has to be at a certain amount. Okay, so all teachers have to be making at least $50,000 starting pay. That don't help me. You understand what I'm saying? That helps people who are in areas where starting salary for teachers is $30,000. That doesn't help me because just because of the cost of living, the starting pay for teachers in our area is already $50,000 because of because of the cost of living, not because we make ridiculous amounts of money, just because the cost of living dictates that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you say we're just going to say all teachers' salaries have to be raised by 3% or 5%, then yeah, I'm definitely here for that. Obviously,
I don't want
but
no 3 or 5% either. Give me a good 25%. Why? Because
ooh,
3 or 5%, I done been through that many times, and that be like 35 cents a check, and you be like, really,
listen,
girl?
I done been there and done that too. Like, I already know that by the time that
Hmm.
thing trickles down, I already know what that's gonna look like. It's like, thank you. I
Hmm.
appreciate the thought.
If it ain't 15%, if it ain't at least 15%, you probably not gonna feel it at all.
Mm-mm. Especially not the way
But
inflation is working right now, child. You ain't feeling nothing. But
because
yeah,
half of that gonna get ate up by inflation.
yeah. Ultimately, honestly, I really think that the only thing that's really going to help at this point or hinder what DeSantis is doing at this point is either A, there be a organized effort, I should say, that either A, there's going to be an organized effort that there's going to be some sort of boycott of the state of Florida and I already know we already been down this road, but I'm just saying either that or the teacher shortage become a state of emergency and they say we need to roll back some of this ish because we can't get nobody to come here and teach. And again, I'm not saying
But
that either
that's
one of
but
those things
that's
will
the
happen.
scary part. Florida was at state of emergency, threat level red, and teacher shortages at the beginning of this school year. It has gotten worse in terms of shortages, but you have the governor doubling down, tripling down. He does not care. He does not. And I've said this. His whole thing is to decimate Florida, leave and go to the White House, and let the scorched earth lie behind him. He's not going to care.
Well, the thing is, he's going to use Florida as his prototype. See what I did in Florida? I'm going to do it for everybody. And those same QAnon Trumpers that held on to everything Trump said are going to fall right on his bandwagon. And that's really what the scary part is about all of this. Yes, we have 100% with the likes. Well, thank you for everybody being in here liking the video. We appreciate you. Appreciate you. Hey, Quintessential,
Appreciate you.
what's up? What's up? Hey, everybody. Hey, Zara, I see you. What's up, Cookie? Well, there's our Florida fix. Since we're talking about since we're talking about um
Death sentence.
Yeah. Do you want to go? Well, we could do that last since that's the title of the
We
article.
can go to
You
Illinois.
want to do the GOP bill that would jail publishers for for distributing certain materials, or do you want to go to Ohio?
I thought that was Illinois.
It says Ohio
I didn't see
students.
your article on Illinois. Okay. I thought I sent you another article. Go
Let
ahead.
me
You can
look.
go to
I may not
the
have sent it
jail.
all up to me. Hold on. Hold on. Let me check.
I don't think I sent it though. I don't think I sent it. Now that I
Ohio,
think about it.
GOP, Florida. No, I don't have it.
Yeah,
Let's go to let's look at the GOP bill that would publish that would jail publishers for disturbing distributing
distributing.
sexually explicit materials to schools. I'm getting ready to drop the link in the chat. Thank you, Quintessential. You always share us out, and I appreciate you, my love.
She does. Yes, she does.
Quintessential. We were talking about the other day on my members only live. We were talking about the meet and greet, like the tentative meet and greet plans. She talking about some y'all can come to Chicago. I said, ma'am, not until it's summertime. We won't. Anybody coming
But
to
it's supposed to
Chicago?
be summer. That would be perfect.
I know, but I was just letting her know. Like, don't be throwing Chicago out there like it ain't
Oh
$2 degrees.
yeah, we ain't coming to no winter. No
You know,
man.
El you know, El Teddy
Right.
get cold.
We'll come to the summer.
He get cold.
Yes.
It drop below 70.
Anything
Okay,
below 70.
he be having on his mittens and his
I'm
hat and
cold.
his boots. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You
Anyway,
do.
this is coming from the Hill. It is dated February the 17th. GOP bill would jail publishers for distributing sexually explicit materials to schools. Publishers could face jail time and multi-thousand-dollar fines under a new GOP-led bill that seeks to crack down on the distribution of sexually explicit materials to schools and educational agencies. A bill introduced this month by Rep. Corey Mills would amend the federal criminal code to prohibit a publishing house from knowingly publishing sexually explicit material, a term that the legislation does not clearly define to an elementary or a high school. Publishing houses that violate the proposed law will be subject to a maximum $500,000 fine, while individuals in the company's higher management will face similar monetary penalties as well as up to 5 years imprisonment. Mills bill, a Mills bill, a copy of which was shared to the Hill. I'm sorry. Will
Mills
also
Bill on Hill. On the
right, like
hill.
I'm sorry, I was getting my Dr. Seuss on. Sorry. Would also withhold federal funds from elementary or secondary schools that obtain or distribute published materials that contain a sexually explicit visual depiction of any kind, including photographs or drawings until those materials are relinquished or destroyed by the school. State and local education agencies, including school boards or boards of education, will also be barred from providing schools with books, magazines, newspapers, or ebooks that contain content deemed sexually explicit. Restrictions do not apply to materials with serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value, according to the bill. Hold on, I got to read that one more time. Restrictions do not apply to materials with serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value, according to the bill. Mills said in a statement earlier this month that his bill is a response to what he described as a coordinated effort by Democrats to sexualize children in schools across the United States. A battlefield for the future of our society is being fought within the classroom of American
Ready B,
schools.
hold on. Your internet went in and out.
It went out. Hold on.
We missed like a whole sentence. If we no, I'm saying it's back. We missed like a whole sentence or something like that.
All right, I'll go back. I don't know what's going on. My
The
stream
last
got
thing we read was the one about restrictions. That's the last thing we heard about the restrictions
yeah,
not
my
being
stream
applied.
god has really been acting up. I apologize, you guys. You said restrictions. Mills said in a statement earlier this month that his bill is a response to what he described as a coordinated effort by Democrats to sexualize children in schools across the U.S. The battlefield for the future of our society is being fought within the classroom of American schools. From school board meetings to new representation in local, state, and federal levels, Americans are waking up to the grim reality of woke indoctrination guys as a normal education, he said. No more. Republicans in state legislatures across the country have also argued that children are in need of protection from a liberal agenda they say is being pushed in schools, especially as it pertains to LGBTQ issues and identities. More than 100 state bills filled this year would limit how educators and students can talk about sexual orientation or gender identity within the school walls, according to the American Liberties Union. Others seek to remove books from school libraries over alleged inappropriate content. A whopping 1,600 books were banned in over 5,000 schools over the last year, including a September PEN American report. More than 40% of the banned materials, including LGBTQ characters or storylines. Hold on. Okay, I'm almost done. While we haven't seen this particular legislation, it appears to be the latest Savo in a cross-country effort to strip away access to information in public education at every level through vague, ill-defined terminology. Nadine Farad Johnson, managing director of PEN America, Washington and Free Expression Programs, told The Hill in a statement. Publishers, teachers, and librarians use established systems to determine the material appropriate for the use in schools, and constitutional parameters already exist for determining what materials are not protected by the First Amendment, she added. Bills similar to Mills introduced last year by Senators Tim Scott, seen as a potential GOP contender. Who sees him as a contender for the 2024
Nobody.
presidential election?
Nobody.
Nobody sees him as a contender, sir. Whoever wrote this article, no
Lord.
ma'am. And Mike Johnson were viewed by LGBTQ advocates and allies as attacks against the community. In the past year, we've seen similar state level laws result in removals of books about everything from art to sexual education to even the Holocaust, Johnson wrote. Unfortunately, those who push for censorship tend not to be concerned with how these kinds of laws can be broadly weaponized. They should be. That's exactly what I said about the Florida bill. Okay. A spokesperson for Mills told The Hill in an email on Friday that the new bill is not targeted toward any particular group. Preventing pornographic materials from being taught in classrooms is completely distinct from naming freedom of expression or conversations being held across our society about gender and sexuality. The spokesperson said, in our view, any interpretation of this bill is an assault on LGBTQ plus individuals, is reading through biased lenses, and are disconnected from reality. The bill currently has 7 GOP co-sponsors, including Rep. George Santos, who is the first openly gay, non-incumbent Republican elected to Congress. Does George Santos really count?
I don't even know who Representative John Doe is. Never heard of him.
What was his name? That's what I referring to him by his drag name. Okay.
Okay. Girl.
See, nobody's coming to expensive ass New York.
Let me say this.
Tracy
Okay.
trying to get him to come to New York.
This, I keep saying this. Y'all know I've been screaming from the rooftops from going all the way back to probably 2019 now that this stuff is coming. Now, I'm not saying that this has an ice cube's chance in hell of winning or getting through Congress right now, because ain't nothing getting through Congress, okay? Nothing at all is passing
Gridlock
through
is
Congress.
real in Congress. You know that.
Let's just be clear. Nothing. But what this should be is a litmus test and telling people this is what they got on the horizon. At the moment that they get even the slightest sniff at control of both chambers, you better be ready, because trust me, they are locked and loaded. This is what they do. You frozen really be. I don't know if you was frozen for a little bit. This is what they do. What they do is they'll put it out there when they know it doesn't have a snowball chance in hell of winning. So that way it's already locked and loaded. They change a to a the or 2 or 3 words. And now, as soon as they get control of both chambers, they're locked and loaded, ready to go. Now, the scary part is many people going say, oh, this ain't my fight, because it's issues dealing with the Rainbow Coalition. However, I keep saying when they come at one marginalized group, it affects, or every marginalized group should feel like they're in danger. Because look at Texas. Texas went toward for the LGBTQ first. The next people on the bill was the next bill had black people and then Hispanic people, and then they started coming after women's rights. It does not stop there. It doesn't stop at all. And so some of these other groups thinking, oh, that ain't my problem. Oh, they just that just affects them. Y'all need to be afraid. And then where is the how did this alleged land of the free and home of the brave become this, locked down authoritarian, you know, worse than fourth world country where you aren't even allowed to have intellectual freedom. We're now prosecuting publishers of books. This is how far down the road we have come. We are punishing and criminalizing people who publish books. I
And
just
here's
want
how
y'all to know that. But
right.
that
And
couple, and
Auntie
this is
D,
the last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna let you go. This
go ahead,
is
babe.
where we're going because I just did an article for y'all a couple days ago. Where now it's they're about to make it criminal in a state in this country to give vaccines for COVID. Make it criminal. Serve time to give COVID vaccines. This is what we're coming to. Go ahead, Renee.
So Auntie Didi asked a good question. She said, who is deciding what is artistic or scientific value? That's the same question that I had about the Florida law. And what the article in the Florida law said was that they would hire people who would be trained to identify and they would let you know. And again, then the question is, well, who's training them and what's the train? It's always the who. Let me tell you how dangerous this could be without stating the obvious, because we know the obvious dangers. But something as simple as a publisher of a high school biology textbook could now be considered a criminal. You know why? Because
Mm-hmm.
in biology, we study human biology. So there are not pictures of naked bodies, but there are sketches and there's, the diagram, because we have to learn, or we're supposed to learn, the parts of the human body. Yes, the sexuality, the reproductive areas, that could be deemed, depending on who's making the decision, that could now be deemed as pornographic and sexually explicit. And now HarperCollins, who may publish the textbook, now is looking at fines or whatever, jail time for the CEO or however far they, I mean, something that simple as a
But
biology textbook.
really being, we all know or have a family member or have a friend of a family member who has a daughter who caught a period at like 9 years old, right? And so, is it
Nine is
not
a little early,
important?
but
No, I know people who've had daughters at 9 years.
all I said was nine is a little early. I didn't say it didn't happen. I just said nine's a little early, but go
Oh
ahead.
no, no, I'm saying that's my point. Sometimes it comes early, but I'm saying 9, sometimes even 10, 11. But what I'm saying is, what happens if I need to start to teach this young lady about her body,
Yep,
and now
the
you're
school,
telling
the school nurse, the pamphlets or whatever that the school nurse uses. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. What
Yep.
happens if you have a young man who starts puberty early? He's in elementary school and wakes up to a wet dream. At some point, you know what I'm saying? Even sometimes you got to start to have this conversation. They're trying to wipe this stuff out of K through 12, period, not even just elementary school. Because Nikki Haley said death sentence didn't go far enough. It should be out of elementary school, period. When we know children in the later part of elementary school, a lot of them do start to experience puberty. It does become important to tell them, hey, this is your body. This is what's going on. You might need to know what is coming out of your body and where it's coming out of and how to identify if there's a problem down there.
Yeah. Again, And
I
I don't
told you,
know.
Auntie Didi, we're in 1938 Germany. A mess. That was what, 75 years ago? Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
I
I
think
don't
that was
know.
75 years ago. Good math, Elton.
V. Carter says, I thought of biology, sex education, and art classes now having their books ruled as sexually inappropriate educational tools. Are they going to take away sanitary products in the bathrooms? Probably. Probably.
I mean, you got them trying to pass legislation in Florida and make rules in Florida where girls have to report on when they get their periods now. I mean, it's just a whole mess. Just a mess. But y'all wanted freedom over your body from wearing a mask, but you want to require little girls to report on when they get their period to
Right.
prove that they are actual girls. Just a mess. It's just throw the whole thing away. Throw the whole government away. Throw it all away. Throw it all away.
Listen. So,
Open season.
yeah, pretty much. All right, let's go on and get into our next article, child. Let's do the Black Lives Matter, and then we can get into the home with the grading policy.
God, that was a mess. That Black Lives Matter, girl, girl.
Child. All right, let's get into it. I'm about to drop the link in the chat, and then we're going to get into this article. Ohio's newest playground game may qualify as a hate crime.
Mm. Mm.
Let me take a deep
It's
breath.
okay. Get it together. You don't come back. You don't got to spike out. You don't have to spike out. Hey, I wish I had the Sugar Spike song on here right now. It would be so perfect.
Oh my.
Oh God.
All right, let's go. On the 10th day of Black History Month, a couple of Black elementary students took matters into their own hands, literally, and forced their white peers to declare that Black lives matter or otherwise suffer physical consequences, according to
Really
the
be you broke up. You
Springfield
got to read that again.
News
You broke up.
Sun.
You got to start that paragraph over. You broke up real bad. Or do you want me to read it? You broke up real bad. We couldn't really like hear.
I don't know. I don't know what is going on with my StreamYard.
I don't know if it's your
Okay.
StreamYard or your connection or.
I don't know. I said I need to get. Somebody told me to get a booster. I need to get one. I keep forgetting to order it. I'm on it today. On the 10th day of Black History Month, a couple of Black elementary students took matters into their own hands, literally, and forced their white peers to declare that Black Lives Matter or otherwise suffer physical consequences, according to the Springfield News Sun. Several students were punched, dragged, and chased down. The police were called to Kenwood Elementary School about an incident that happened last week. Principal alleged that a group of Black students gathered some white students on the playground and forced them to say the words Black Lives Matter against their will while recording them. The ones who refused to participate were assaulted and punished. It's not funny. It's not funny. I shouldn't be laughing. That's funny. The parents didn't find out why their children came home with sulking faces until months after the incident. School officials said they waited to report the incident until over the weekend because they're conducting their own interviews with the students involved. For two parents whose son was wound up in the chaos, they were more furious at the school's delayed response than anything else. I'm more upset about the assault part of it, of the children being forced down on the ground by other children, not so much of making them say Black Lives Matter, because all lives do matter. The school staff should have recognized the behavior and the problem before it got that far, and the student's father, Ryan Singer. There's got to be a better way to live up to the school's respectful, responsible, and safe motto than failing to de escalate a physical altercation and then procrastinating alerting the parents. Due to the pending investigation into the potential innocent assault charges for the students responsible, the school declined to comment on the matter to the local news. However, the school district released a statement about the plan moving forward. Here is the statement. The Springfield City School District is committed to providing our students with a safe learning environment where they look forward to attending every day. The district is aware of a situation that occurred at Kenwood Elementary. We are working closely with the Springfield Police Division on this matter to ensure that we maintain that safe environment. Because this is a new police, because this is now a police matter, no additional information is available at this time, a spokesperson said. Springfield Police told News Center 7 they're investigating whether the incident is a hate crime and working with prosecutors to review any possible formal charges. The fiasco is likened to that opposite day incident where a few black middle school students in Florida were arrested for jumping their white peers on campus grounds screaming brown power. There is truly no reason for black kids to feel as though violence is a useful tool to achieve allyship or some sort of reparations. Situations like these only feed into the narrative that supporting Black Lives Matter promotes violence. Doctor?
Now, I do think that the school messed up. The school absolutely messed up. They should have treated it like
Mm-hmm.
any type of physical altercation. Hey, boo, you fight? Baby, come on. Let me call your mama. It's time. Baby, you had no business doing that. Once they started to drag it out, oh, we have to do formal investigations. Oh, we have to do all of that. Now, they got themselves into trouble because you are in the great state of Ohio, which ain't the bluest of states the last time I checked. You knew there was going to be some backlash from these people descended from the Caucasus Mountains. Let's just be brutally honest. You should have handled this by the letter of the law. The school board policy says, student code of conduct says we do X, Y, Z. Baby, we saw the fight. We did X, Y, and Z. Because now you run into situations where these white people, they finna take it to the 30th level. Baby, they want these children charged as adults. They want official hate crimes. They want them locked up and behind bars. They want them expelled from school and all types of stuff. Now, we're not going to talk about the fact that white kids across this nation, from sea to shining sea, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, have been doing all types of heinous and insidious things and acts, both physical and some non and symbolic, that have been doing things that are absolutely hate crimes. Still in school, ain't got nail day out, and ain't got no smoke from nobody. But I'm not saying that that's right. But what I'm saying is, you should have. They should have thought about this. They should have said, "Nope, we're gonna handle this by the book. You go home, you get suspended for however many days, and you keep it moving." And I think we may not have been here, but but the petty part of me, the every reviews part of me, the nuck if you buck section
The
of
nothing
me
but
part, that little part in the corner of my brain that has every reviews wallpaper around it, is saying, well, girl, girl, because the fact that in the article they said that the people was like, yeah, because all lives do matter. Yep, see, that's why y'all got laid down. That right there might be why y'all got laid down. But yeah, they're gonna take this to really. You know how this gonna go. They're gonna try to charge these elementary school students. These are elementary school kids. What happened to this energy? Protect the babies. They're babies. We don't even want them to learn about their bodies because they're not ready for that yet. But now y'all ready for them to be treated as adults and charged with hate crime when they're black. Come on now. I'm just
So,
saying, really. I'm just saying.
so I 100% agree with what you said that the school absolutely handled this incorrectly. Yes, it should have started on the playground. How did the teachers on the playground miss a whole game where they are beating people down in the middle of the playground? I get it. Teachers are on lunch duty. They're not paying attention. Maybe they're talking to each other. Maybe they're on their phone. I'm not saying that makes it okay, but whatever. But the school should have absolutely handled this better. But now my issue is we're going to take it to the other extreme. I literally remember us playing games like this in school where, there was physical altercations. And I know that it ain't the same. I know things are different. But to take it to the level of now they're calling the police and there's an investigation and they're talking about a possible hate crime. Now y'all just being ridiculous. Now y'all are just being ridiculous. Like, really? A hate crime? Really? It's their kids. Maybe now is a conversation. Maybe now we take this as an opportunity to have a conversation. See, here's what happens when you don't want to teach people in a proper setting about their past and about their history in a constructive way. Because now lives matter. That is what happens. I'm back.
Huh?
Can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay. Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with my connection, but
No, it's me.
I
It's
don't know
me.
what's going on with
It's
my.
me. I don't think it's you.
Oh,
I think it's me, not
okay.
you. It
Oh,
might be
okay.
me. It might be.
That's what she said.
I don't
But
know.
that's the problem. That is my problem with this. Again, the kids were wrong. That it was violent. They shouldn't have been playing a game that ensued violence. But the adults in the situation absolutely handled it incorrectly. And now you talking about a hate crime. Go sit down. Please go sit down. Nicole. I'm not doing this with y'all. I'm not doing this with y'all. Not maybe the kids deserved it. I ain't doing this with y'all.
So they want to charge these kids as adults. You know they want to. A mess.
Anyway, that's Ohio. All right. Our last article, it deals with this grade. This is the one that El Teddy said he thought I would like. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Not that you would agree with it, but I thought that it would make a
No,
good
interesting.
talking
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. I was robotic sounding. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. It's something going on, and I'm hosting the panel tonight, so I hope whatever's going on, they get it together.
Okay, I didn't know if it was me, so I said let me adjust what I got going on my. I didn't know if it was me or
I think
y'all
it's
went to
me.
make sure.
I think it's me. It's been acting up for a couple of weeks, and I don't I called the cable people and had them resend the signal. I mean the internet. They had them resend the signal. I think they plan with me trying to get me to upgrade my internet. I really think that's what it is. Honestly, I think they're trying to get me to upgrade my internet. But this happened after the history class on the Black Panthers, and the little white kids were laughing. And you know what? Nope.
Mhm.
um, El Teddy, I can't get to this article because you have to be a subscriber.
Oh shoot, let me see if I can get to it. Hold on. I thought I got to it earlier. Hold on. Email it to me.
All
You want
right.
me? Let me see if I can get to it. If I can't, then we'll. I mean, we about an hour in anyway, but
Yeah, we have 50 minutes. So I just sent it.
okay. Talk amongst yourselves, people, while I get this in order. Talk amongst
Yeah.
yourselves.
Well, I mean, I just think that we set a nasty precedent that now we want to start. I mean, again, when you start wanting to charge students as adults for something that's frivolous, you are absolutely creating a whole situation for yourself. And it's not healthy and it's not going to turn out well. And this is going to be one of those situations where you wanted it to be used in this instance, but when they start using it in instances that don't favor you, then it's going to be, oh my goodness, how could you do this to the kids? And I'm like, well, this is how you did it to the kids.
I can't get it either, so I guess we won't do it.
Yeah, because yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, we're 50 minutes in, so we're good. You can access it on your phone with reader mode to bypass the sign in sometimes. I don't know what reader mode is, so do you know what
That's
reader mode
the
is?
tech guy over there trying to make us feel stupid.
Yeah, I don't know what reader mode is. Sorry, Cams. Thank you though, but I'm
Trying to
gonna have
make
to
us
do some
feel
research what reader
stupid.
mode is. Well, El Teddy, are you going live after this? Are you getting ready to go live so we can send the people over to you?
Um, I'm gonna shoot for, let's say, 4:15. That's my goal.
Okay.
That's what I'm shooting for.
All right. So El Teddy will be live 4:15 on his channel. The panel, the Whether You Like It or Not panel, will be tonight on my channel. We will be discussing part one of the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion that went down last night. El Teddy's review is up. My review is up. So y'all can go
Oh, did
check
my
that
review
out.
go up? Yeah, I didn't even know it finally went up, child.
Well, I know you said it was loading, so it's
It
if
was
it's not up,
loading.
it'll be up. It's in the process of upload now. I know James
It should be up by now. If it ain't up by now, dear God
Yeah,
knows.
Spiller Boy TV dropped his review, so you guys can check it out and see what everybody's talking about. Or I might need to change my router. Maybe my router is a couple of years old. I mean, how long is the router supposed to last? I think we had that. I think I asked you that before, Volvo. All right. Well, let me go, y'all. El Teddy, final words. I'm shutting up.
Um, I'm very happy to be here. I don't have any final words. You caught me off guard.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we
Didn't
no,
greet years yet.
but no, we're just know that we're still on the beaten path. We will always be sounding the alarm, and we will make it happen. We'll give y'all the information, the news and information. I'm gonna try to find that article another way, so maybe we do it next week.
All right. Talk to y'all later.